Yeah, how's it going, guys? So today I was doing a little bit of research on coffee, and sorry, my shoulder is bugging me a little bit. But my name is Mike, and I was researching some coffee and different ideas about what people say about coffee and how to roast it and all that. And I was trying to see what people thought about popcorn poppers and how consistent it was with roasting. And they said a lot of people, or even just, it's common knowledge, I guess, that drum roasting and air roasting are more consistent and easier to have a consistency with comparing to roasting with popcorn popper like I do. And I can see for most people maybe that would be true, but if you record yourself and jot down like when certain parts of the coffee was doing certain things, I feel like you can be really consistent. Like for instance, you know that you want to charge this and have it warm up until about 450 degrees, 400 degrees, whatever, and then you jot that down. You write it down, or like me, you record it and which is cool too because somebody like you can go and watch and see what I did and try to do the same thing. But you can get that down and you can do the same thing again, especially if you consistently update yourself with time and how long it's been in there and such. It's completely manual, right? And you do have to turn it. You got to consistently do the turning and all that stuff. But to me, that's the fun part. And having to turn that knob for me is not a problem. Um, and being consistent as far as like a rhythm, it's just something you gotta get used to. I feel like the consistency aspect, I don't know if it's completely true. My name is Mike, if I didn't say it already, and on this channel, I'm doing a 30-day challenge, and I'm going to be posting for 30 days in a row, and I'm on day 14. Today, I guess, is a time when a lot of people will actually quit. Today, I'm not going to quit, and today, I'm going to bring you something hopefully of fairly good quality. And so recently, I have been trying to make a concoction, a blend myself, to make it something that would rival, or if not be better than, maybe even come up almost to the level of Vivace, espresso Vivace. And espresso Vivace has like a berry flavor to it. And I found how to do it after so many different trials, after so many different things. I think I found the secret. And it's because there's certain coffees that are done certain ways, right? Depending on how they processed it. And real quick, if you don't know what processing is, there's a dry process, there's a wet process, there's honey process, there's all kinds of different other things that people would do, or the farmer would do to the coffee to make it something that would be like what you would like. So there's a lot of different things, but let's just stick with those three. Okay, so wet, dry, and honey. We can take honey out of it right now. So let's just stick with two of them. We can talk about honey later. So wet is, or washed. They take the berry off of the bean, and the bean is completely washed, right, clean, and that's basically what a lot of us get. If you had coffee here in America, you have probably most likely had washed coffee. Okay, and there's the other one, the dry one. And I don't know why I went. Who knows? I'm tired right now, and I'm going to get through this. So I'm sorry. Bear with me, and I thank you for sticking around. So the dry process. So you can. Here I go again. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dry process is next. They leave the berry on the bean for a while until it dries out. Okay, however long that takes, they leave it out and they let it dry, and the seed takes on some of the character from the berry, and that's how they get that berry kind of taste. Some beans, even if they're washed, would maybe have some of that berry flavor naturally, but it's the dry process that actually is what brings that flavor more so to the cup. Come to find out, an espresso is probably best to not have that berry flavor. But I kind of disagree. Why? Because I had espresso vivace, and this is a matter of preference, but I had espresso vivace, and that did have that kind of a berry flavor. Haven't been able to replicate it. I finally got dry process because I saw on sweetmarias.com if you're interested. Real quick side note, um, sweetmarias.com, you go there and you can buy green coffee. You can get your popcorn popper like I have here. And if you want to see how to use a popcorn popper, a stove popcorn popper, um, to make coffee, to roast coffee, then go to one of my videos here on my channel, and you'll be able to find something. Hopefully that'll help you. But I think the video that I made is the one that says I finally made it. So if you go to look for that video, you'll see that one there, and it'll say I finally made it, and it's right behind me. I found a Guatemalan coffee. It's a really good one. I had just a regular Guatemalan coffee washed, and it was one of the best coffees I've ever had. I said, okay, well, this is going to be my base, right? This is going to be the one that I'm going to pair with something else. So I took 50% of that, and I went ahead and got a Guatemalan dry processed coffee to go with my Guatemalan wash processed coffee. And I put 50% of the dry processed in with that. As soon as I opened the dry processed bag, by the way, when it got to me, I noticed the berry flavor or the berry notes, the berry kind of smell. I knew that was going to come through in the roast, and sure enough, it did. It's one of the best, and I feel like I matched what Espresso Vivace does. So I heard I read somebody saying on Reddit that they roasted their own coffee, they they liked it, it was okay, but then they went to go buy coffee from another roaster that was professionally roasted, and they said, nope, that stuff is amazing. I'm going to continue to buy from a roaster. I'm not roasting my own coffee. So that's fine. And I maybe they couldn't get it to where it was good enough to, feel like it was good enough for them to drink. But I have had professionally roasted coffee before. I know it's very good. I agree. It can be very good. But I've had coffee that I've roasted myself that has been very good. And my wife has said, wow, this is really good. So I know it's possible. I do agree with the fact that it can be somewhat inconsistent. Inconsistent. If you're not visiting your notes, if you're not watching yourself back on a video, possibly, trying to remember what you had done to get to that. If there's not a way that you can go and do that, then you're most likely not going to be consistent, right? The new roasters nowadays allow you to be able to have a saved profile, which it makes sense. So my saved profile are these videos. There's no way I can actually stop to write anything down, to be honest. Probably wouldn't be a good idea because I have to continuously turn this unless I had somebody else doing the turning for me or somebody else over here on the side taking notes. If you have something like that going on where you can, say, hey, can you come turn this for me right now while I write down these notes? Then that's fine. That would probably work, but you probably need to have a team effort. That's why, for me, recording these videos while I'm roasting is actually the best thing for me to do. Because I want to eventually, I would love to try all of what Sweet Maria's offers and then roast those, make a light, a medium, and a dark roast, and then have those available as a video to go along with whatever roast Sweet Maria's has or whatever coffee Sweet Maria's has at that time, and somebody would be able to go and see how to roast these themselves if they would like to. It's just a hobby. To be honest, yeah, it would probably be cheaper to actually, or even better, to just get coffee sent to you that's already roasted because you can put coffee in a freezer. Didn't know if you, I didn't know that. So just in case you don't know, not the refrigerator, a freezer, and make sure the bag is very airtight. So you can get a sealer, seal your own coffee if you want, repackage it, put it in a bag that you know is going to stay sealed. Probably a good idea wherever you get your coffee. You seal your own bag. If the bags that the coffee comes in isn't quite sealed enough, it's going to let the air in. It's going to degrade the flavor of the coffee over time. It's just not going to last. So coffee, I've had frozen coffee 2 months to 3 months after I roasted it, and it tasted almost the same as it did when I froze it or just after I roasted it. So it'll stay good for a long time. Just so you are aware, it does really work. I I tried using a canister that is airtight. That didn't really do it for me to keep the freshness. So I really recommend doing the freezer thing. It really does help. Um, so all that aside, um, yes, you can be pretty consistent. You can, and but what's cool about the, what's cool about it is people change. Coffee, so your preferences will change, right? Your preferences. And eventually you're going to want something different than what you are getting from your roaster. After a while, good or amazing isn't really good enough. It's almost like telling the same joke twice. We can put up with coffee a little bit more than just once or twice, right? Because if you love a coffee, it's good and it's just simply good. But for me, I can stick with the same coffee for only so long, and then I have to go and try to experiment with something else. What's cool about the roaster that I'm using, the popcorn popper, is it is somewhat inconsistent. If you let it be, right? So you just simply just put stuff in there and start roasting, and you might get something just a little bit different. If and you might and so it might be better, it might be not so good, but acceptable. Um, and what's cool about that is it switches it up for you, so you don't get really tired of it, and you think, oh man, like what did I do different this time? And so maybe you can go back and think about, wait, so yeah, I did this, and whatever it is. So I think it's a great way to go for somebody that I mean I could make a lot of coffee on this thing. I probably made about mm, maybe 50 pounds so far. I think that's a lot, but it might be more now. But yeah, 50 pounds of coffee, I would say, so far, and it's held up really good. I do it on a propane gas burner in my garage, and don't know if I'd recommend that. You probably need to ventilate the garage really well, but it works pretty well. It works good. Interesting thing. I'll end with this. Is coffee it came from Ethiopia. I think we all know that, right? Um, and I have an Ethiopia coffee here right now, and it's supposed to be really good. It's the Ethiopia Senecada Mountain, and I mixed it with El Salvador Mauriciales or something like that, Castillo. Both of those are from Sweet Maria's, and I thought I was gonna be able to make the same thing that I had made from Guatemala, and it didn't quite work out that way. It worked out pretty good. It actually is. If you don't like berry flavor, like a berry note in your espresso, you're gonna love it. And what's cool about this Ethiopia coffee is it can be used for either espresso or used as a drip or pour over. So it's very universal, which is also why I wanted to try it. And Sweet Maria's had a lot of it. And I think they can keep getting a lot of it. So I'm hoping they can. But I don't know if it was me, my roasting, but I didn't like it as much as I liked the Guatemalan. So that was my experience so far with that one. I was talking about that in my last video about I can't wait to try this coffee, and I did a good job, I feel like, of roasting it, and it did turn out really well because I also did another video after I roasted it. Um, no, it was during that same roast. It was at the end of the video. I went ahead and brewed it, and it turned out good, but it turned out like an espresso should taste. Okay, like just um, acidic and balanced and bitter. So acidic in the front, bitter in the back, and then it comes back and with this acidity again as an aftertaste. So it's good. I think it's well balanced. I could probably do better with the roasting, but I don't have to do so good at the roasting with the Guatemalan blend that I made. Like it's just good basically no matter what. So I think I will roast the Ethiopia El Salvador roast again because I have 10 pounds of it. I have about 9 pounds. Yeah, 9 pounds left, and so I will be doing it again, and I'm gonna make it do a little bit less time. So I kept it in there for about I think it was 9 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna pull it at 9 minutes and 15 seconds, I believe, with a charge time of 450. So, and here's the thing: is coffee is a preference. Your idea or what you choose to have is a preference, right? So, what I think is good could change from time to time. So, being able to continuously change, what you want. Like so Sweet Maria's doesn't always have the same inventory in stock, and that's actually kind of a good thing because it makes you kind of change things up. And then when the thing that comes in that you really like is available, it's like right on, like icing on the cake. It's like you already found something that you replaced it with, but then you get to go back and see why you liked it so much, which is what's so fun about this whole process. And then also getting to talk about it and doing videos on it and stuff. It's pretty awesome. I like it. I'm grateful that I get to do something like this here, be alive in a time like this, to where we have YouTube, where we communicate with each other and just talk about things like this. So there's so much more to talk about. I don't know everything there is to know about coffee. There's so much to share. There's so many things to learn, and I can't wait to find out what I get to learn from doing this whole experience. And I found out an off-topic thing. It's not completely about coffee. That what's weird is I remember I've had other YouTube channels, and I did that thing again. I went, so sorry about that. I've had other YouTube channels that are I would post like once every other week, once every week, sometimes once a month, and I would always be super worried about like, oh, I can't post anything. I have nothing good to say. I'm not getting nothing to talk about. Like, why even post? It's not. I'm gonna waste somebody's time or whatever. And I would have, if I would have posted, I would have learned so much. I didn't have to post every day, but I needed to be consistent. And my thing was when I woke up in the morning or when I went to bed, I was always thinking about like, man, I need to do that. Like I need to eventually get on this again. And I always had like a worry of some sort that was just always kind of nagging at me in the back of my mind. And I noticed that it wasn't that I was worried about doing something with what I was going to do. I was worried about, am I actually going to show up for myself today? Right? Like, am I actually going to do what I know I need to do? And when you take that away, when you take that aspect of it away, like worrying about, are you really going to show up? Are you really going to do that? Like, there's no doubt in your mind. You don't even need to think about it. It's going to be done. It, all you have to do is think about like what you want to do. And that becomes a lot easier when you know that you're going to show up because you know that you're going to be there. You know you're going to show up, so you might as well put something together. You might as well. You're going to be doing this anyway, so you might as well prepare something, right? That's like a different approach. That's like a whole nother level of being able to show up for yourself. And that's what I've learned in this. It's weird how that worked out that way, but that's so far what I've learned is my stress levels about posting has gone down because I know that it's going to go on anyway. I know it's going to happen. I you know it it just is what it is. Like it's going to be done. So why worry about it? Like I don't so that means that I get to live my life and not have to worry about what I'm gonna like when I'm going to find time to do it. It's just like when I have time, like when the time is, when it's time to do it. Like that's it. It's not like when you find time. No, it's it's gonna get done anyway. So I could do it now. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it now. Or it's gonna get done anyway. So don't worry about it. Do it later tonight. It's gonna get done. So live your life, do what you need to do with your kids, do what you need to do with your job, like whatever the errand is. Don't worry about like, it could I noticed I would have mood changes sometimes because I knew that something was in the back of my mind tugging at me like, dude, you need to go post. Like, you need to go do this video. You need to go get this done, and letting yourself down, you know? So that's what I've learned. So anyway, hopefully this has helped somebody. But yeah, we're on day 14 of 30 days of posting a video for 30 days straight, one video a day. And yeah, guys, go ahead and roast something. Make something good for yourself. I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe for more. Take care. Bye.